A couple rented an old cabin deep in the Appalachian Mountains. When they walked in, they noticed something immediately. Windows on nearly every wall, but not a single curtain anywhere.
I'm shaking. We had to stop filming there for a second because the car was not getting up the gravel path, and then we couldn't find the place that we're staying at, which is crazy. This is where we're staying. I have so much adrenaline right now because we are in the middle of the Appalachian Mountains and I am terrified of heights. We got here any later and we would have been in trouble because it's about to be pitch black. It's a nice cave. That's not creepy. This is crazy. We have another cave. Wonderful. It's very aesthetic. And this is meant to be where me and Chase are staying. I am shaking so bad. This one doesn't. Oh, it has a code. Oh, it's open. That's promising. I mean, pretty view. You're telling me there's no curtains, so the creeps can see in. Oh, this is so creepy. This is so creepy. What have I done? Well, I want to get Chase's reaction when he sees this. I'm gonna shut it and get his reaction.
Every window was completely exposed. No blinds, no curtains, nothing to cover them with. That detail ended up mattering fast. On the first night, around 3 in the morning, Mary woke up and had to use the bathroom.
Do I want to go down those stairs?
Okay.
I didn't see that before. Hell no, Chase. Hell no.
Let's go down there, babe.
No.
Get you back to the cemetery. Oh, it's starting to rain hard.
Let's go. You go first. Because if the rat runs and charges
how dark it is. Look, watch this. What would you do if there was a figure right there? Watch. Alright, third time's a charm. When to go? Strap. What is hurt something?
It's probably a rat.
Probably a skinwalker.
They think it was a skinwalker. The area has reports from visitors and locals describing sounds and screams that don't match any known animal. There's an unspoken rule in places like this. When you hear something strange at night, you ignore it. They broke that rule. What happened that first night wasn't the end of it. The next evening, the camera caught something again. Watch what shows up.
Can you hear the crickets? Think that hearing crickets is a good sign, and then oh no, shut the fuck up. Babe.
What?
I heard a noise. Stop it, I heard a noise. You're in trouble. Stop. What was that? What was that? What was that?
What?
The tension was building. You could feel it.
Oh no.
Hours later, during dinner, the camera picked up movement in the background behind them. The cabin had exposed windows, large ones. They were supposed to be safe inside, but with all those exposed windows, the cabin offered no protection at all. A couple had just settled into their new apartment when things started going wrong. Lights would flicker without reason, they'd hear whispers when no one was speaking, and objects would shift positions on their own. One night, while her boyfriend was out working late, she was left alone with whatever was living there with them.
Lo rompebolas se pone cada vez que llegamos a la sesión. Nadie entra a este placar. Ustedes 20 veces se los he mostrado, creo. No hay chance de que alguien entre acá. ¿Cómo les gusta romper las bolas? Es increíble.
She hears violent pounding coming from the closet in the bedroom. She walks over and opens it to find nothing but hangers and empty floor. That same night, while she's cooking dinner by herself, strange noises drift in from the bedroom again.
Esperando el relevo del pan, pero se empezaron a escuchar ruidos en la parte del living. Y estoy sola. No hay nadie. Miren. Literalmente no. Qué pesado, hermano. Qué ganas de romper las bolas que tiene. No, es muy rompebolas.
The hanging pots and utensils above the counter suddenly start banging together hard, like something's grabbing and shaking them. There's no draft, no windows cracked open, nothing that would cause it, and soon the activity wasn't just happening inside their place anymore.
Llegamos a la sesión y en la pieza, la cual estaba apagada, está las luces LED prendidas y no sé si alcanzan a ver esa silueta, sombra, no sé qué carajo es, pero hay alguien parado en la pieza. Y estamos literalmente nosotros dos acá. Estamos los dos acá, no hay chance de que alguien esté en la pieza, porque no hay nadie en la casa. No me parece casualidad que lo esté haciendo después de salir de la sesión. Igual la chica me dijo que esto podía pasar. Miren, para que vean que de verdad no hay nadie, subimos lo más rápido que pudimos y no hay nadie en la casa.
One night they came home together and looked up at their apartment window from the parking lot. A dark human shape was standing there, watching them from inside their own unit. They ran upstairs. The door was locked from the outside, exactly how they'd left it. The apartment was completely empty. The next night, they set up a camera pointing at the bed. What showed up lasted only a second in a reflection.
Llegar como que ya con eso. No, me dice, mira, esto es algo serio, tengo que hacerlo. Bueno, adivina dónde terminó.
She's lying in bed, TV on, when a tall shadow walks through the mirror's reflection beside her, moving slowly across the room before it vanishes completely. The camera pointing directly at that same spot shows nothing at all. In the physical room, there's no one there. Whatever moved through the glass existed only in the reflection. The couple's evidence remained unexplained, leaving them to grapple with what they had witnessed in those reflections. Given the height of the apartment and the complete absence of any physical presence in the room itself, one question remains unanswered. Could reflections truly be a gateway for something that exists outside our normal reality? The couple still has no explanation for what those cameras captured that week. Late one night, a young woman in the home wakes up after hearing tapping beneath her bed. She flips the light on and records. When you look at the reflection in the video, there's something underneath the bed. It has the shape of a human face, but the features look off, almost like a mask or something that isn't quite right. Watch it again with the lighting adjusted. If that was under your bed, what would you do about it? I want to hear your thoughts below. A man was sitting in his living room one afternoon, alone in the house, just scrolling through his phone. At some point, he gets this feeling that he's being watched from somewhere. He keeps glancing up, checking the corners of the room, trying to convince himself it's all in his head. Then he looks toward the window and freezes. There's someone standing outside. He grabs his phone and starts recording, thinking he needs proof. The figure doesn't show up clearly on camera, but what happens next shakes him. Kitchen items move on their own.
Okay, look, I'm really tripping out now. Something was looking at me through the window, and I heard... I'm freaking out. Tripping. There's something in this house with me. There's something in here. I'm telling you. No.
At first glance, the footage just looks like someone filming an empty room, but then kitchen items suddenly shift without anyone near them. Even before that moment, you can tell from how tense he is that something in the house feels wrong. He keeps the camera running, hoping it will show itself again. And whether it does or not, at least there's proof. In late January 2026, a tattoo artist who goes by Ramirez started noticing things in his shop he couldn't explain. A client had given him a mirror, and according to the story, someone had hanged themselves in front of it. Around the same time, a different client dropped off an old doll. Ramirez brought it home, but his wife wanted nothing to do with it, so he moved it to the studio. That's when the activity picked up. One night, he drove back to grab a charger he'd left behind. As he walked up, he heard kicking coming from inside the locked building. He pulled out his phone.
Buenas noches, amigos. Oigan, miren, vine aquí al local porque se me olvidó mi cargador. Y ahorita que venía aquí casi por el bote de basura, oí que patearon la puerta. Y me puse a grabar, pero empecé a notar en la persiana que se movía. Miren, parece que se oye como se mueve la persiana, o sea, cómo cruje. Entonces ese polvo es polvo de la calle. Es que es una calle pues es de tierra. Miren. ¿Qué les dije? ¿Qué les dije a la verga? Miren, voy a entrar. Miren, para que vean que no hay nadie adentro. Todo en una toma. Ay, perdón con mis 20,000 vueltas, pero es una llave de seguridad. Miren. O sea, no ha salido nadie, miren. Voy a entrar. Voy a cerrar la puerta rápido. Miren. Voy a prender aquí la luz. Y miren. No hay nadie. Para que no digan que sí, que hay alguien adentro, no sé qué tanto. Ay, güey. Bueno. Ay, es que eso de la persiana sí lo había escuchado saliendo de aquí del local, pero la verdad no le ponía mucha atención. Miren, tuve que cambiar un poco las cosas del lugar porque cada año, pues, acomodar todo, ¿no? Me voy a asomar al baño para que vean que no hay nadie. Oiga, miren cómo está la puerta. Me traje el espejo aquí al baño. Miren, voy a cerrar otra la puerta para que vean que no pasa nadie. Me traje el espejo aquí al baño porque estoy remodelando, estoy reacomodando todo. Miren, no hay nadie. Miren, miren. Que no digan que hay alguien escondido. Miren, yo estoy dentro del baño. No hay nadie. No hay nadie. Miren. Ok, miren. Voy a estar grabando así, que ven que no va a salir nadie. Miren. No mames.
The metal slats on the door shift open like someone's looking out at him. He unlocks the door and walks through the studio, completely empty. Then the bathroom door swings shut by itself. He opens it and looks inside, still no one there. A few nights later, he hears another sound and turns the camera toward it.
Pero por ejemplo uno de mis hijos, algo. A ver si se logra captar poquito lo de la persiana. Ay, me picó algo. Ay, güey, espérame. Ahí está, ay, perdón, es que me dio comezón. Bueno, como les decía, preferible que me pase a mí que le pase a otra persona, ¿no? Yo escuché como ruiditos acá en el baño. Ay, qué leño. Como que se escucho yo en el baño y de repente escucho acá por donde está la computadora. O sea, como que me trae de arriba abajo, como que para que no me concentre en un solo lugar. ¿Qué chingados fue eso? Ah, no te pases de verga. No, ya me voy. No, banda, ya me voy. Vean, la muñeca se cayó. Vámonos, banda. Ya desconecté. ¡Ay, cabrón! Ah, chinga tu madre, Nel. Muchas gracias, amigos, pero Nel, ya me voy.
The doll that had been standing upright in the glass case tips forward and falls flat without being touched. Ramirez walks straight out. After that, he sets up a security camera, and the next night around 9:20, it picks something up. He goes in to check the bathroom again, empty, just like before. When he reviews the footage, there's no one walking through the frame, though the doll does seem to shift slightly. But here's the part that bothers him. On the floor, he finds what looks like a fresh barefoot print that wasn't there earlier. So are the mirror and the doll tied to what's happening, or is something else going on? You can decide for yourself. A little after 9 at night, a security camera picks up a bright flash inside the house. When he checks the recording, this is what he finds.
Vean la cámara sale y entra el infrarrojo. Vean eso, pero ustedes ahorita ven la luz, se ve muy rara, vean ahí. Ahorita les voy a mostrar a ustedes. Eso que se ve ahí es una esfera. Yo ahorita la estaba viendo, es una esfera. Pero ahorita les voy a mostrar quién trae en la mano esa esfera. Vean ustedes y vean cómo se desaparece. Vean eso que les voy a mostrar. Vamos a correrla manualmente. Vean lo que está ahí. Vean esto que está aquí es un ojo. Y acá está el otro ojo. Vean, un ojo y el otro ojo.
At the end of his house, a strange flash of light is seen on the infrared camera, but just as he zooms in, it appears that the light seems to be coming from a creepy figure with big black eyes, before eventually the flash gets brighter and disappears along with the figure. The man has no idea what he saw in his house that night. This footage comes from the Metaphysical Show account on TikTok. Rob Counts had been spending some quiet time alone in a valley miles from anywhere. No houses or buildings nearby. While he's out there, he meets someone working in the area and the two start talking. The worker mentions something unusual he filmed recently. He pulls out his phone and shows Rob the clip. You can tell it's worth watching.
Now, what's super weird about that video is the guy who took the video won't even go back into those woods anymore. Did you see the dog in the video? That dog was growling and it was looking over into the area where the apparition appears. And it was just, what a crazy video. I can't believe it, and I haven't been able to figure out what's going on. What do you guys think?
The video shows something pale and human-shaped moving silently between the trees before it fades out of view entirely. A dog in the background starts growling, clearly sensing something wrong. Rob watches the whole thing, and you can see the moment it hits him how bizarre this really is. In the comments, a user called Xcode floats one theory that gets attention. They suggest it might be a residual haunting, and plenty of people seem to agree. Someone else brings up a different angle. pointing out that humans can only see a small sliver of the light spectrum. If that's true, then what we're missing could be happening all around us constantly. It's the kind of idea that opens the door to uncomfortable questions about what's really there. This man Moses had a really weird experience at a park that completely freaked him out. So several days later, he comes back with his wife just to observe the playground from far away. While he's filming the area, he manages to record something really bizarre.
Lo del mentado árbol que habíamos, realmente sí hay algo. Ahí nomás juzguen ustedes. Y mira, y nomás ese aparato que está. Nomás ese aparato ese que se está moviendo. No, sí está cañón. Vámonos mejor. No, vámonos ya.
First, everything looks totally normal. But then one of the swings begins moving completely by itself. Those foot pedals are pretty heavy and won't just start swinging from a little breeze. It takes some real force to make them move like that. He gets really scared, thinking this connects to what happened here several nights before. So he tells his wife they need to get out of there, right now. Because a few nights earlier he had brought his 2 kids here to the playground, so they could play on the slide. But things got really creepy when they all saw something disturbing.
Mira. Espérate. Dana, ven. Amor. Vengan, vénganse para acá. A ver, miren el árbol aquel. No, la neta, te lo juro que yo miraba algo. Como que se asomaba. A ver, vengan.
Ya me dio miedo.
No, es que yo miré algo, neta. No pasa nada. No, mi amor, no pasa nada, ven. No era nada, ven. ¿Qué?
¿Qué es?
No sé, no. No.
Te prometo que yo vi algo. No creo que sea, pero estoy muy mal.
Mira, sí se miró. ¡Hey! ¿Quién está ahí? Yo sí miré, alcancé a ver algo. Mira, ¿te checaste? ¿Viste?
¿Qué es eso?
A ver.
Un animalito.
Oh, mira.
¿Qué es eso? Ay, no.
¡Hey! ¡Lujo! ¡Asómate!
This scary face watching them before it quickly disappeared again. The whole family gets totally freaked out and runs away as fast as they can. They think it's the same thing that made that swing move all by itself later on. Whether it's actually a real ghost or not, that's something you'll have to decide for yourself. A man named Eddie found an apartment at a surprisingly low price. He'd soon discover the chilling reason behind that bargain. Even his cats seemed to sense something wasn't right, showing signs of distress at the strange occurrences in their new home. Eddie decided to install security cameras throughout the apartment, hoping to capture whatever was happening, especially during the nighttime hours. What the cameras recorded was disturbing. Strange noises echoed from the main entrance, as if someone was trying to get in. The following night, things escalated when his cat began acting strangely, staring intently at one specific spot in the house. What happened next, while Eddie was filming, would send chills down anyone's spine. Two nights later, even louder noises woke Eddie. This time he chose to confront whatever was causing the disturbance, camera in hand. The footage from that night comes from two angles, one from his security camera and another from the camera he carried. Just as Eddie checked the first door where he heard the noise, the sound suddenly shifted to the bathroom. Then came something even more terrifying, the sound of a kitchen chair moving by itself. Whatever was in that apartment seemed to feed off fear, and the activity wasn't limited to nighttime anymore. It appeared to be a supernatural entity. Known in local lore as the one who knocks, and things only got worse with each passing day. By 6:58 a.m. one morning, the disturbances had become unbearable.
6:56. Słyszycie to?
Desperate, Eddie sought help from a priest to bless the apartment, but instead of improving, the strange events continued.
Nie no, generalnie robię sobie obiad, nie? Znowu się zaczyna.
Then, most disturbing of all, Eddie suddenly stopped posting updates, something he used to do at least twice a week. A neighbor who commented online claims they haven't seen Eddie at the apartment for over a month, yet they still hear inexplicable noises coming from inside. Whispers, knocking, and most chillingly, the sound of someone persistently banging on the door, even though no one has been seen entering or leaving the building.